dun da dun. Da dun dun da dun. Da dun dun da dun. Da dun dun da dun.
Of course. Whoa, 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 whoa. Still some technical things to figure out here, boys and girls, at the new Linux Cappy. This is the first podcast we've done with the Linux system. There are some minor things to iron out, but so far it has been an easier and more enjoyable experience than dealing with Microsoft. Right now, if we were to look at the investment, like Microsoft Windows 11, all Windows products, all big tech is, well, no different than their model. They want you on a subscription model. You pay us every month so we get consistent revenues. Whereas Linux is, you're going to invest all this time. No money, by the way. It's all time. It doesn't cost you anything. That's coming in a little hot. And then you never have to pay again. All your costs are up front. Learning how to install Linux, how to set up one of these things, a boot drive, a USB boot drive. I haven't had any pop-ups or bullshit, right? You want to update to the cloud? And already I'm starting to get dividends already. So there's some minor tweaking I got to do, but it's been, I'd say only 75% as difficult as I forecasted it to be. You got to find different replacements. Like I found a Microsoft Paint. I use that for my thumbnails. I found that you can run this program called Wine, and it basically allows you to run Microsoft products or Windows software on Linux, and that's been helpful. But here we are. I think it's good, and it's the Good Morning Coronachan podcast. We haven't had one of these in a while, and I had to wake up 6:30. I'm like, oh, is the world already going to fuck up? All right, here we go. Google admits to censorship push by Biden administration, invites back banned users. I was under the impression that the censorship by big tech was done predominantly by younger people who lean left and are short-sighted politically. Maybe IT geniuses, obviously if you're working in Silicon Valley. Perhaps a bit of that California, Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area culture. I could, and I'm not wrong. It's not like there's one or two things that resulted in YouTube's and Google's censorship. Oh, but it was Biden, huh? The articles, I had to go find an article that wasn't written by Fox News or something, right? I found one on Yahoo News. This is from the Washington Post. Or is it Washington? Hang on. This is from the Washington Times. See, once I move, there's a pop-up. I got to get brave. I know. I got to get brave. I wanted to see what channel I was using or what website. It's the Washington. See if I move up again, it's going to put Washington Times. And then there's going to be another pop-up. There it is. There it is. So I wanted to make sure, okay, we're not just getting, my main concern was that Biden was trying to suppress free speech and censor YouTube channels because they didn't want misinformation getting out about the disease. Hey, YouTube, look what you did. Now we got to talk about the disease. I can't say the C word because we don't have the freedom of speech. So I thought, okay, maybe it was for safety, ostensibly to prevent the pandemic from spreading. No, it was just straight up. You Democrats have got to realize, you normies out there, okay? The far left Democrats, you're the goddamn fascists and you know it. Antifa is fascist. You're the totalitarians. You're the dictators. They are. But you normal people and you well-intended Democrats, you better I'm being deadly serious. This isn't me being a conservative or Republican or libertarian trying to get you to come to our side or get lower taxes. No, you don't understand the party you've been supporting because of your short-sighted naivety of free shit and helping out the people. You've empowered and enabled a truly fascist party to form within the United States. You may not like the Republicans. You may not like Donald Trump. You had a fucking political party, the Democrat Party, under President Biden, perhaps Biden himself, though, who knows what he was doing, who was really in charge of it, going to private companies and saying, you can't say that, ban these accounts. Do we need to do this to you? Okay, back in World War II, they found the concentration camps, right? And the regular German citizens, because they were propagandized by the Nazis, couldn't believe that our good boy Adolf would do that. No. They had to grab people from town, march them through the fucking concentration camp saying, this is what your guy did. This is not a good, well-intended pro-German party you have here. You have a megalomaniac, psychopathic, murdering, genocidal asshole in charge. You had a dictator. And I think we got to have that. Now, it's not as traumatic as marching you through here, but do you see who look, you don't like the Republican Party? Fine. You don't have to vote for them. Form a Labor Party. But for the love of God, the Republicans aren't out there trying to suppress accounts. You had a fucking president who is your bitch, by the way. That's your employee. Trump or Biden, Bush or doesn't matter. Telling private companies to censor channels to get them banned. You all might pick on Zuckerberg, but he even testified like, yeah, they were really strong-arming us to censor certain types of speech. And I said, no. And that's a question I got for those of you at YouTube or Google. I mean, of course, this was 5 years ago, so who's still around, we don't know. What the fuck, man? What concerns me is when Biden was in, all you corpos bent the knee and worship Biden and sucked a Democrat dick. And that doesn't, I mean, that concerns me, but that's not what really concerns me. It's that once Trump got elected, you all just went, oh, let's suck this dick now. How about you suck no dick? And as a fellow citizen, because corporations are not individual people citizens, but you are citizens in a theoretical sense, or not conceptually, you're citizens. You are participants. You are definitely an institution in the United States. Can you tell the government to fuck off? Can you say, no, we're running our company? And then, you know what? If they come in and they start strong-arming you, that's fascism. That's dictate. I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat. And what you should do is immediately go to the media, which, of course, is the Democrat Party. Okay, go to Fox News and say, hey, this congressman came up to us and said, you better donate money to us. Like Jesse Jackson, though not a politician, he's just a shill. He did a shakedown thing with the Rainbow Coalition. Why couldn't he just say, yeah, Jesse Jackson, how hard is it for you guys to stay? If you're not going to, what now the citizens do, but now the entire corporate infrastructure, the entire corporate institution has been co-opted for whichever political party happens to be in power. Look, man, I know you got to make your money. You got to make your quarterly earnings, because otherwise you don't get your bonus. But there might be more important things. Like, I don't know. And right, yeah, YouTube is its own private platform and they have community guidelines and all that. But can you maybe stand up for the people? Can you maybe stand up for free speech, including right and left, and all the points in between? And that's so shameful. I mean, if a corporation is capable of having shame, dude, go to the media. Yeah, Senator so-and-so said if we don't, well, then they're going to cut our funding, or they're going to do this, or they're going to do that. They're going to pass a law. I just want to point out just what a corrupt motherfucker Senator so-and-so is. Go fucking narc these people out. Here's another concept. All right. I know you corporations and you politicians and all that are all up your own asses, and you're all self-interested. There's this other group of people in the country called the people, and they got a lot of shit to do, right? Especially since you make it very difficult with your rules and your laws to have a living wage, to find employment. We got to all go to college and school and this and that, and you got to tax us at about 40%, a little bit lower than that, right? People, they got to go commute. They got to go to work. They got first pay the welfare state, right? That's the first and that's the largest section of their budget. Maybe housing is, depending on where you are. So we got to pay for a parasite society. Then we got to pay for a housing market, which you guys did not implement any policies that help create carpenters. Instead, we got a bunch of worthless college graduates. They got to get out of debt that you fucking corporate assholes constantly require them on. By the way, I don't know where you think consumer spending is going to come in the future if you constantly have people going into debt for worthless college degrees. We got to deal with cars that break down, and not because of hardware, but because of software. Heaven help you if you got kids. You know, I think they're busy. I think the average American person is pretty fucking busy right now just getting by. And now we got to worry about you guys stabbing us in our fucking back where we can't have a freedom of speech. And then there's like this little glimmer of hope. Like, okay, in Minnesota, this is a while ago, Amazon rolled out the Amazon affiliate program. Gosh, what was it, 15 years ago? And, you know, this little bit of glimmer, this little bit of hope, this is back in the blogging days. A lot of people are like, oh, I could sell stuff on Amazon and I'll make a little bit of money. We're talking beer money for the vast majority of people. And I remember Mark Dayton, that motherfucking Democrat trust fund baby, pussy piece of shit, came out and says, we're eliminating Minnesota's Amazon affiliate program because Amazon doesn't have a nexus here, doesn't have a facility. Dude, can you just let people... Can you let them have a little bit of fun? And YouTube, it was kind of the same thing. Like, oh my God, look, we get the... It could have been a win, 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 win. A win for everybody. All people. Entertainment is democratized. All people of all interests and backgrounds and hobbies could have talked about, oh, my pet turtle collection. I'm raising turtles. And you could have had your standard left-right politics and, you know, whoever, Tim Pool or Roush or whatever. You could have had your consumer report people like Rossman or Joshua Fluke. You could have had your deep philosophers like Stefan Molyneux, perhaps myself thrown in there too, right? We could have actually had diversity, and everyone could have had 1 billion unlimited channels, and people could have made money. And because the Democrat Party is a fascist fucking party, it is a communist tyrannical fucking party, they came in and they had to put the squash on that. Not only the Democrat Party, you gotta know, you have to know that there were people with inside YouTube who were activists, right? Remember that video going around where there was an actual meeting at, was it Alphabet or YouTube? Where it's like, we're going to prevent Donald Trump from getting elected. Like you actually you were shitting your pants that a Republican might have gotten elected. Like when I go I got DeWalt drills mostly, kind of a group of hand-me-down, what's it called? Goodwill drills. Most of them are DeWalt. I don't worry about the DeWalt drill working based on what I say, you know? I got this reliable tool I can put in a drill, put in a socket, whatever, and start going to work. And we had this one happy thing. We had this whole cool, like a whole new industry. A very nice silver lining to an otherwise dark cloud, especially for younger people. And you guys got to come in and squash it. And now we got to worry about the right doing that too, right? Are you Democrats starting to get canceled? Do you see how this is? And I'm like, God damn it, man. This is why you don't trust I did a whole video like the adults are wrong about everything. You adults can't get your fucking shit together. I thought it back then. Now I'm confirmed of it now. Why the fuck do you have censors? Content moderators. Right? Why? I've asked this, like, if you looked at the budget, and I just been a while, but you guys spend a lot of money on content editors, censors. Why are there community managers in video games? Why? Not only because it costs you more, but do you want to get embroiled in this shit? How simple of a policy would it be? No, we're the freedom of speech. We don't care what you say. Now, if there's terroristic threats and violence or whatever, then the FBI could come in and investigate. Sure. We don't give a fuck. We're not responsible for it. Have at it. Bye. Do you remember the good old times that you guys used to play? It was a little bit after my time. where you could play video games online when online gameplay first started happening. And you could exchange and say, your mother sucked my dick, da 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 da, and exchange racial slurs. And it was a good old time, right? 10-year-olds were just beating the shit out of 30-year-olds with their sassy mouths. Remember that? Did anything bad happen? No. If anything, people probably let off some steam. And we all had fun memories. And you let a bunch of fascist Karens come in. You said the N-word. You said the F-word. You said the C-word. You said the K-word. I don't know what the K-word is. I'm sure. Karen, there it is. We got to end this. We need community, man. There's not one community manager that isn't a fascist, ugly, liberal white bitch. Not a single one. Could you have just avoided it all? And all you had to do, YouTube, Google, is when the politician came in and said, we want you to censor the speech, you just had to say no. And we're recording this. We'll go right to the fucking press. You're our bitch. You work for us. Because corporations are, in a sense, the people, right? Or at least you're a private actor, a private corporate citizen. Keep the roads unclogged, have the police out there, have the judicial system. Leave us the fuck alone. No, President Biden and Democrat Party, we're not going to deplatform or censor people because you want us to. But you did. You fucking did. Hang on. Just bear with me. Where'd it go? Banners, media assets, comments. I just want to make sure everyone's saying like the audio. No one's complaining about audio. Perfect. Thank you. And now it came to, and I just want to, I'm not going to talk to you leftists because you are evil. I've said you're evil. I've said you're the Communist Party the longest time, and now it's proving it. You are against the freedom of speech. Full stop. Your main representative, President Biden, I don't care if he was there or not mentally, he went up and told companies to censor speech. You guys ought to be fucking furious. You ought to be appalled. And here we are, right? We get to deal with this shit. I don't know about you, but I'd like to go live my life. I would like it if the government wasn't tyrannical. I would like it like if we could have the free, you leftists could say what you want, right? I don't care what you say. That's fine by me. It never dawned on me. I need to go and appreciate it. But you normies out there better get real quick and hip to the jive that this Democrat free shit loves and hugs. This is the symbol. This might as well be a swastika. This might as well be a swastika right now because that's the real fascist party. Those are the real fascists. Those are the ones that want you dead. Those are the ones out there burning shit down. Was it this simple? He made the heart. That means they're the good guys. Should the Republican Party just get a flag that says the good guys, and you guys would fall for it? Oh, see, it's the good guys over there. See, it says so. Is that how easily duped you are by free shit? I mean, there's not much to this. I mean, so I looked at this article, and are you going to make me subscribe? Oh no, we're going to reboot. Google admits to censorship pushed by Biden administration and invites back banned users. That's the title. I thought they would have said, only to prevent a medical outbreak. Like they're not even used. This is it. They're like, yeah, no, it was full on censorship. Those who saw the YouTube videos and other content banned during the disease and the 2020 election were invited back to the platform Tuesday in an astonishing mea culpa from the company that blamed their censorship on Biden administration pressure tactics. Oh, they pressured you. Fuck off. There, film it. Get the representative from the Biden. Here's the vitamin here. Hi, how you guys doing? This is Joe Schmo from the Biden administration, the FTC. He wants me to ban your channels. Here, watch this. No, fuck off. And we'll see you in court if you fucking try. Do you need me to be your PR? Alphabet Inc., the company that operates Google and YouTube, wrote in a letter Tuesday to Congress that we're forced into removing content by Biden and senior. Were you forced, or are you just cowards? It is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate how the company moderates content, Alphabet lawyers wrote to the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. Well, then why didn't you bent the knee? You bent the knee. And by the way, Google, YouTube, all you S&P 500 corporations, do you know who your friends are now? Are you still doing this? Let's help the Democrats because it's what the cool kids do. Hey, kids, look, we're Democrats. Hey, we're totally down with the calls, yo. Are you finding out the people you went to bed with? I did a video. I even put the Sundar, I forget his last name, the guy who's the CEO, who I have nothing against. I put all the bigwig Silicon Valley people up there. I said, you do know that the Democrats are going to kill you and take all your money. You do know that, right? At the end of the day, and maybe it might be a generation or two, then it's going to be your children, but they are going to take all your money. That's the best outcome. They're likely going to bump you off. You know that, right? Am I the only one that sees this? What is it with you normies? You can't see through the fog. Why can't you see this coming? Are you, and not to mention all the people you've hired who sue you and make your product shit, and they're activists and they don't show up on time and they don't have the skills, but they got the right whatever skin color or vagina or politics or mental disorder or made up gender. Like, oh, we're the cool edgy kids. We're the cool edgy kids. Are you done hiring the cool leftist theater kids who are nothing but a fucking pain in your ass, who can't produce a product and result in lawsuits? Now it makes me wonder if you were bowing and allowing censorship to go on, was it the Barack and the Biden president? Because you'll just bend the knee to whatever president or administration's in power. Were you forced to do the DEI shit too? Or could you just say no? Like all this shit we could have avoided. How much more money could you guys have made if you just said no or taken the freedom of speech? What if instead of the Republican or the Democrat in school, you were the libertarian, you were the cool kid, you're the one who bought booze to the party? What if that would? And now you're saying it's unacceptable and wrong. Well, then why did you tolerate it? And the company has consistently fought against these efforts on First Amendment grounds. Are you what? No, you have not. You're a liar. You haven't fought shit. What? Don't believe we're the good guy. Right? This is coming from arguably the top company in the country, right? Google's or Alphabet is up there. I gotta imagine you got some of the smartest people working for you. And this is your fucking, we've always been for the First Amendment. When you admitted you censored people? This is like arguing with an ex-wife who just like cheated on you and says, no, you literally caught it with the guy's dick in your wife. You see it there. You got photographic proof of it because you knew she was going to say, well, no, I wasn't having sex with him. Company officials acknowledged they had gone too far in banning content related to the disease in the 2020 presidential election results. Why are you, what do you care? What do you care? Wouldn't that just be easier? Somebody said there was cheating in the election. Some people said there was no cheating. What do you care? The censorship came mostly in response to senior Biden administrative officials who repeatedly pressured them to take down content, even though the material did not violate the company's policies. You say no. And then you go to the media, go to the Republicans. Company officials said Biden administration aides and President Biden created a political atmosphere that sought to influence the actions of platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. Okay, the censorship. You could say bullshit, right? You could say peanut butter ice cream is good ice cream. That's a lie. That's bullshit. You could say there's better ice cream than mint chocolate chip. That's a lie, but you could say it. What does it hurt you? Google also admitted to relying on health authorities when it initiated policies kept in place through 2024. I had a I had a video of this demonetized because it was something related to the disease and the treatment of disease. See, I don't trust you, YouTube. You still got your AIs and your policies and your leftist activists in there. So one video I had demonetized was because I disagreed with what the government was telling me to think about the disease and the treatment of the disease, the root beer float. This is science shows, and this is bad, but you got to take it down, and you need to take this training. Oh, you mean like fucking fascist re-education camps? Fuck. It's so you know what this is? This is childish. This is petulant little childish bullshit. We could have had this thing where content creators could just come in, say what we want, have a good old time, have the blessing and the honor and the luck to make this a living for some of us. It's like the adults just can't let it be, right? You just can't let it be. There's always some kind of fuckery with it. You're the children. You really are. You're the goddamn children. Someone gave you the key codes to the nuclear weapons. Kept in place through 20 that banned certain discussions of the disease and various treatments for the virus. Those actions, Alphabet officials said in a letter to Mr. Jordan from their law firm, were well-intentioned, but they added the company recognizes it should never come at the expense of public debate on these important issues. I'm wondering how much it is because Susan is gone. I do wonder, because the new guy they got, he seems happy-go-lucky. And yes, I'll say, YouTube, can I say this? I believe men are more for freedom than women are. Women want security, men want freedom. I think men genetically, biologically, whatever you want to call it, have a predisposition to value freedom over safety. I think women are less free philosophically. They value freedom less than men do. And I do believe removing all other factors, the fact that there's now a guy in charge of YouTube, that I think makes it more free. Because it is more free. That's another one, by the way, leftists, who your real friends are. Feminists will oppress your freedom of speech. They will nag you to. Have you not seen it? Have you not seen how mean and petty and minor feminists have become? Getting it so you get fired if you ask a girl out at work. Go fuck yourselves. Oh my God, a man asked a girl out at work. Let's go get his life ruined. They are not your friends, moderate Democrats. For those of you girls and boys that seem to maybe like each other a little bit, I present you the female arm of the Democrat Party, feminism, which hates men. Don't fucking tell me it's anything different than that. Get fucked. So I get tired of these petty little arguments. Yeah, no, actually, no. You hate men. That's it. Yeah, until I see your behavior change, you treat men kindly and nicely. Stop blaming for all your problems. You hate men. I'm not. Well, you see, actually, I understand it's for the free equal. Did you know back in 1974, before Cappy was over half a century ago, women couldn't open a credit card, which is a skewed truth. I don't give a fuck. We're not in 1974 anymore, are we now? Yeah, but we need to punish the boy who's like 10 years old right now because he has a penis. Okay, all right. Just say you hate men. It's all right. And you're part of the Democrat Party. What about Dennis Prager? I bet you he's got a shot here. Banning Dennis Prager. My God. The Ohio Alphabet admission followed Mr. Jordan's year-long investigation of online censorship practices that appeared to target conservative viewpoints. The Ohio Republican issued a round of subpoenas seeking information from social media giants regarding their censorship of right-leaning voices. YouTube started banning users shortly after the contentious 2020 presidential election. In December of 2020, YouTube announced it had terminated more than 8,000 channels. How much time did you have to go through to audit that shit? Of harmful and misleading videos related to the 2020 election, including content that alleged widespread fraud or errors that skewed the election results. Company officials said in the same announcement that third-party fact-checking information. Oh, the third-party fact-checkers. Oh, yeah. Remember that fascist bullshit? Yeah, actually, this is that's gone, thank God. One less thorn in the American people's side. And then when you looked at the fact check, they actually had fact-checking companies. You went and looked up who they all were. All leftist, rabid leftist activists. All of them. Company officials said in the same announcement that third-party fact-check information panels were triggered more than 200,000 times on election related. You had people go through all this? You what? 200,000 times on election-related content relating to voting machine integrity state recounts. Google was accused of demonetizing conservative media publisher, The Federalist. The Federalist? The Federalist. Why don't you go after William F. Buckley Jr. while you're at it? I'm trying to think of the most milquetoast conservative Republican. What about George Will? George Will said, I think one time, maybe we should lower taxes once. Shouldn't you go after him? Along with conservative website Zero Hedge, among others. Google owes us all damages for what their censorship cost us. Federal CEO and co-founder Sean Davis said Tuesday, a quick, we're sorry, now that they're in trouble is going to cut it. Their censorship cost us millions. Yeah, you should. They should be sued. Look, man, I'm not one of these corporate ethicists, but if you just are for the freedom of speech and you treated everyone equally, you wouldn't have this problem. Does anyone think more than a year in advance in corporate management? I don't know what. Obviously, I don't like the left. I hate the left. They're parasites. They've accused me of horrific shit I've never been guilty of, and they've lessened the growth of this country. But at the same time, in a very libertarian sense, can we not appreciate a concept of the freedom of speech? Can you corporations, even politicians, not get on board with that? Like, can we also get on board with, hey, someone died and maybe you didn't agree with them politically, but you don't have to celebrate their lives, but you probably shouldn't celebrate their death. Maybe in closed door, like, yeah, I'm glad that guy's gone. But publicly, can we say maybe there's a time we just shut up for the family who's mourning? I don't think these are unpopular positions. Content ban snared prominent users, among them Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Senator Rand Paul. In August 2021, YouTube suspended Mr. Paul for a week after he appeared on a video discussing 2 peer-reviewed studies that found cloth masks do not prevent the spread of disease. There's an edgy take. The company had instituted a 3 strikes policy against users who repeatedly posted prohibited content. Mr. Paul, who pushed back against the disease policies, was on his 2nd strike, resulting in a week-long ban. Or maybe, I got an idea, what if you just don't have that ban? Oh my God, something somebody said was insulting. Yeah, and then you moved on in life. You're not wrong, Guitars and Adam. You're not wrong. Mr. Bongino was permanently banned from YouTube in 2022 after posting 2 videos that cast doubt on mask wearing to prevent the spread of the disease. Alphabet officials said in a letter to Mr. Jordan that they'll offer those banned from YouTube due to COVID or election-related an opportunity to rejoin the platform. The Biden administration has been under intense criticism over its tactics to pressure social media. Well, what are you going to do about it now? I think they should be looking into criminal charges. Right? I'm not a lawyer, but shouldn't oppressing the freedom of speech be a suable or prosecutable offense? Biden administration has been under criticism over its tactics to pressure social media platforms to remove content. In addition, Alphabet, Biden aides bore down on Facebook and Twitter, now X, to force companies to censor social media posts. They're the Nazis. They're the bad guys. We can all argue what percent of my money I owe you for sitting on your ass and getting pregnant by 5 different dudes. Okay. That's a different discussion right now. Can we agree that having the freedom of speech violated, the first one, that's a big problem we all got right now. Forced companies censor social media posts related to the election and the disease, according to emails uncovered by Mr. Jordan. The effort began almost as soon as Mr. Biden entered the White House. January 23rd, 2021, an email from Clark Humphrey, then digital director for the administration's disease response team. Mr. Humphrey emailed Twitter officials at 1 a.m. on Mr. Biden's third day in office and asked them to remove a tweet posted a day earlier by Mr. Kennedy that suggested the death of Hank Aaron, 86, may have been tied to the disease vaccine. Who's this asshole? Who's this fucking asshole? Clark Humphrey. Who's this fascist? Hey, Clark, you're the real fascist. Who are you, you fucking asshole? I guarantee you don't have a real job. You never had a real job. Well, there's a lot of Clark Humphreys. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of Clark Humphreys. Clark Humphrey. And Clark Humphrey's being brought on as senior advisor, digital persuasion. What? Dude, it says right here, on Sunday, the campaign, this is back when he was staffing this, on Sunday, the campaign named Ryan Thompson as chief mobilization officer and Kate Conway as creative director. Kat Stern was named director of digital persuasion, and Clark Humphrey is being brought on as a senior advisor for digital persuasion. Are you fucking, what? Dude, this is the fucking Stas. I'm sorry, this is Pravda. What? So I don't know who this Clark Humphrey guy is. There's a lot of Clark Humphreys. Aides threatened the social media giants with unspecified options if the platforms did not comply with their censorship demands. In a now dismissed lawsuit filed by 2 states against the Biden administration, U.S. District Judge Terry A. Doty called their actions arguably the most massive attack against free speech in the United States history. There it is. Washington Times, guys. Try to find an unbiased source. I'd be just as upset if it was the Republicans. But it's not. You know how much it pisses me off for 30 fucking years? I've seen in like the mythical Cassandra how bad the Democrats and the left are, and you dumb shits couldn't see through it. Like right? You can see the creepy old man offering you candy in a dark van. That's bad. You guys can see this, but it's the same thing with Democrats, but because it's a schmuck in a suit saying free shit, like, oh my God, free shit, okay. Why can't you see that these were the bad guys so long ago? Would have been one thing. Oh, come on now, Cappy. Come on. Single moms need your money too, you know. Nobody's perfect. Come on. Be a good Minnesota man and spread those ass cheeks a little further. These are the bad guys. It's not that. It's not that. You're a fascist. Oh my God, you hate black people. You hate women. You hate oh my God. Almost getting in a fight with a teacher because they said, well, we should privatize the schools because there's better educational outcomes for them. What about people in the past? I don't know. Do you got a time machine or something, you low IQ fuck? Teachers, fuck you. Oh, the fucking, they're the rank and file troops of the fascist party. You guys are vile fucking vermin. I know a good teacher. Yeah, I remember 3 out of the 89 teachers I had who weren't fucking Marxist pieces of shit. I remember. Yeah, I remember them. That was 50 years or 40 years ago. So there's one. This one, somewhat related. Let me pull it up on my notes here. This popped up when I was going through my social media stuff. And the image was shocking. Now, I think 14 people in total were arrested. But here it says 6 women arraigned on charges related to the Alvarado ICE attack. The picture here, it's all white women and a couple white dudes, I think. But the 6 women are also all white women. Guess what else? You have to make the distinction. Yes, they're liberal, of course. You know what else they are? Fucking hideous. They're fucking ugly. No shot. We've been over this a million times, right? Lazy people don't work out. Lazy people dye their hair purple or get tattoos because they don't want to work out and do good in life, right? Show me a fat person. I'll show you a 0.85 correlation coefficient between somebody, that person in poverty, that person in a miserable life, that person in leftist politics. Like, more money from other people for me, please. Now, I don't know why it's confusing on a couple levels. It says 6 women arraigned. I guess there were 14 people arrested. And on the picture here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 15 people pictured, 14 of which are ugly white women who are liberal. You never know when the article starts. 6 women charged for their roles in the shooting of an Alvarado police officer faced a federal judge on Monday. The officer was responding to a vandalism call at the ICE detention center when federal prosecutors said he was ambushed. Thankfully, he survived. Sorry, here they are. They're all ugly. Hey, look, ladies, I'm not saying you got to go be hot for men. Right? I'm not saying that. I want women to have their choice. If you look historically, women never liked guys that much anyway. It was probably a bad thing, although a necessary thing to survive, that you had to be having sex or be with a guy that you didn't necessarily like. I'm not saying that you have to, go have a career, go live a life without a guy. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to kill people. Where did that go? Like, I don't need no man. Well, go live a very solitude type of enjoyable, peaceful, content life. Where is it now you got to have why do you have to have leftist politics, right? Couldn't you possibly, I don't need no man, but I like low taxes. Is that a possibility? No, and I know, because at the end of the day, you're egotistical, right? It's one thing to be lazy. The lazy person who isn't egotistical has a pretty good and content life, right? I love him like a brother, but Chris Beckloff is a lazy guy. He doesn't want to work too hard. There's nothing wrong with that. Him and his dad, very minimalist, but he's not out there. And now I need to have purpose, value, and meaning in life. That's where your psychopaths and your antifas and these 6 liberal, ugly white women come to the conclusion, I need to kill people. Because you couldn't just exist and enjoy an easy life. You had to have purpose and meaning on top of it, but you're too lazy to have any kind of purpose and meaning, because to be a valuable, purposed person requires some form of production. Being a good dad, being a good mom, being a good accountant, being a professional of some kind, being a hardworking job, being a participating. And you all go for what the Democrats told you. Go destroy that, because it's easier to destroy something than it is to build something. And in your own minds, you criminalized what? America, freedom, capitalism, low taxes. Do you think you girls are going to get one of these hot immigrant type of guys to have sex with you? What is it? What? I know for a fact a lot of them are doing revenge against men who rejected them in the past. Like, they never got rejected individually. They just knew no hot guys, no American man's going to ask them out. So they'll show the American man they're going to import a bunch of illegal aliens and destroy the country. That's what it is. Of the pie chart, there's a lot of Venn diagramming. I have a question. Fine, you don't like guys. Wouldn't you rather go feed the ducks than, hey, you know what? Let's set up an assassination attempt. Let's ambush a cop. That's not highly ranked as fun for me. Wouldn't you rather go for a hike? Wouldn't you rather go eat ice cream? Really? I mean, if you're fat and you don't give a shit, well, shit, you got like an extra sense you can treat and indulge yourself in. Eat ice cream, go get involved in food, become a cook, become a chef. Of all the things, no, I got to go kill that guy over there. Connected to the ambush-style shooting of an Alvarado police officer at the Prairie Land Detention Center on July 4th. They include Savannah Batten, Joy Gibson, Maricela Rueda. Okay, I guess there's one Latino there. Elizabeth Soto, Lynette Sharp, and Rebecca Morgan. In all, at least 16 people have been charged with the case. According to the federal complaint, several of the defendants were dressed in black military-style clothing. The complaint states that the protesters began shooting fireworks at the detention center. 2 people broke off the main group and began to spray graffiti on vehicles and a guard structure. Officials believe it was a ploy to draw out ICE detention officers out of the building. Instead, the correctional officers called 911 to report vandalism. When the Alvarado police officer arrived, here's Barney Fife. Here's Andy Griffith. He just shows up, right? A defendant positioned in the woods shot the officer in the neck. Another assailant across the street fired 20 to 30 rounds at the unarmed correctional officers. These are Democrats. They are the fucking fascists. Do I got to warn you all again? America will get what it deserves. You'll get what you vote for. You'll get what you vote for. Investigators found AR-style rifles at the scene, 2-way radios, and a total of 12 sets of body armor after searching the scene in the defendant's car. The complaint said the shooters ran away, but law enforcement more like rolled away. Yeah, here's some pictures of more. It's mostly white people. I mean, not to bring race into it, but you all, it's just minorities. No. Antifa, that's mostly depressed white kids of the Pacific Northwest, although the depression in the Pacific Northwest goes without saying. The Minneapolis riots, oh yeah, a lot of suburbanite Jessicas and Jasons out there. But law enforcement officers stopped them. One detector had cell phones inside a type of bag that blocks cell phone signals. The complaint called the attack a conspiracy. The 6 defendant supporters strongly dispute the conspiracy claim. They argue the women were there to attend what they thought would be a peaceful protest. Oh, okay, well, we'll find out based on ballistics. They did not want to make any official statements after Monday's arraignment, but questioned why the hearings were taking place 11 weeks after the arrest. How long did the people in January 6th, I believe, had to sit there? The court-appointed attorney for the women also did not want to make any statements yet on what happened. The attorney said the time was not unusual, given that both state and federal agencies are involved. Additional defendants will be arraigned on Tuesday. So there's that. Crusaderists, man, they just can't collect their welfare check and go play video games. They gotta make a difference, but not if it requires work. I just want to kill people. Really, that's all it is. And then this Dallas ICE shooting. This is this morning. 2 victims dead, 1 injured. The shooter is deceased. Sniper died from a self-inflicted gunshot early Wednesday morning after he shot 3 ICE detainees. The detainees? You ain't even going after the cops? At a Dallas ICE facility from a rooftop, according to law. So look, the Democrats really want illegal voters here. They want as many immigrants here so that this is their last day. They knew what they were doing. I guarantee you, if we were to investigate, you're going to find the Democrat Party through different intermediaries are having this happen. Guarantee you. Now, I could be wrong, but isn't it interesting that also now they're resorting to violence and they're targeting ICE? I don't know how hard it is for you all to figure out. You should not have mail-in voting. You need voter ID. And yeah, everyone should be rounded up so they don't vote. Not saying they should be treated like animals either. But yeah, you're not here. Get out. It's just, you're shooting cops and the detainees now? Officials confirmed 2 of the ICE detainees have died. The third was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police sources say that. Now, look, okay, I'm politically against people being here illegally. That doesn't mean I wish they were dead. I'm serious about that. You notice the difference between me and pretty much every leftist on the internet dancing on Charlie Kirk's grave? I don't want these people dead. Police sources say the sniper identified as a white male. We had to throw it in there. Okay, you tell us about that. But if there's a stabbing on the subway, we don't hear about it. was armed with a rifle on the roof. He shot himself as agents approached him. The Dallas Police Department and other officials are preparing to give an update on the shooting in Dallas. You can watch the full conference later. First post on shooting, Greg Abbott says, shooting, blah, 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 detentions, illegal immigrants. Senator calls shooting horrific. Keep everyone. I don't know. Just I know it sounds crazy coming from a conservative libertarian type. Can we all stop shooting people for a bit? Can we just stop doing that? This is why we have elections, folks. And if you don't like the outcome of the election, move. There's other states you could go to, and maybe we bolster state rights. So if you want to have a socialist state, you can have. If you want to have a state with us, you could have that. You know, instead of you defederalize all the welfare programs, you can all live in California and eat people's shit off the street. I don't know what gets Democrats off nowadays. FBI sources told Fox 4 the shooter was on the roof of the law firm behind the ICE facility and fired into an unmarked van with an ATF driver that was bringing detainees into the facility. Investigators believe they know the identity of the shooter, but they're still working to confirm that the information released to the public. Expected to hold news conference, blah, blah, blah. Uncalled for. Yeah, it is uncalled for. This is just older. I'm sure you guys have noticed this. Between all the screenshots, the ads, the article takes up that much space. So you got to scroll, and I'm already desynced from looking at that. All right, there you guys go. Let's go to the super chats quickly. Reen, $5. Unfortunately, in this last week, I think we've learned with Jimmy Kimmel's return is that terrorism works. ABC got shot up and he's back. Terrifying. Yeah, but I'm seeing things. Well, no, say, look, this is the Danegeld. Okay. If you didn't know, European castles and Europeans were being besieged by the Vikings, the Danes. And the Vikings would come in, and some of them were more peaceful. So they'd give us gold and we won't attack your village. And so they paid what was called the Danegeld or the Dane gold, the Viking gold. And then the Vikings went away. Well, guess what happened next year? They came back. The threat never goes away. You just become a vassal state. You become enslaved to them. No. You say no the first time. Because you got a fight coming no matter what, or you're their slave for the rest of your life. No, he's right. Trump's right to identify Antifa as a terrorist group. Absolutely. You say no. Because what's going to happen when... So what? Disney's got to bleed red on the Jimmy Kimmel show because it costs more forever? But what's the deal with... They're saying different syndications are not carrying it. So what? Disney produces it, and then it's up to the local broadcasting companies to carry it or not? Is that it? And a lot of them aren't carrying it. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. You want to have someone like Jimmy Kimmel show the rest of the world. Jimmy Kimmel is not some radical leftist. I think he pretty much represents the Democrat position right now. Your average Democrat. I'm okay with people killing Republicans. Oh, you're so educated, Jimmy. Let him, I don't care. Disney, you want to keep making woke shit? You can lose money. I don't care. What? Let's take a look at Disney's stock price. It's up $2 today. Ooh. It is still down from a high of about 200. It is at the $117 range. It has not grown since August. It has not grown in 3 years. Its price has been flat in 3 years. You factor in inflation, you're down what, 20, 25%? Let Disney, let them waste. Let them waste their money. Boo-boo. Hey, our Philippine agent in the field who is probably back in Poland now. Left and right censorship pigs if they don't like ban. I'm disagreeing. The right has not banned. Don't fall for this Democrat talking point. We're the same. No, we are not. The Democrats and Republicans are not the same. The Democrats want your kids to cut their junk off and be edgy and they want to destroy the country. Not you, boo-boo, I know you. I think you, boo-boo, being Polish, you're aware of how the left wanted to occupy and did occupy Poland, right? Yeah. Were you around for communists? You're a younger guy. I know your parents were. Don't fall for that. They're just it's the unipart. No, they're not. Start backing one party that at least is pro-America. The Plains Warrior, $2, but Cappy, Biden has his Ministry of Truth. I know, exactly. Exactly. Colin, $5. Will you write your next book on Linux? Just remember, anything written on Linux is technically a manifesto. Well, what was funny is when you install Linux, right off the bat, it says, do you want all codecs? So I can view all media. Microsoft used to be able to, like, a JPEG or a movie, or it would play Apple M4A files, whatever it was. You didn't have to worry. Media Player would play everything. And then it just didn't. Oh, would you like to open up a bitmap image? You need to download the codec. I'm like, okay, do I download? Oh, it's $1, please, that the Microsoft started. No, fuck you. Fuck you, Microsoft. Linux. Oh, yeah, we play all media formats. And along with it, it's pre-installed Office Libre. There it was. I'm like, oh, I can open up this file. There it is. Linux, go. It's easier. It's just easier. Alex Bogey, $5. What we kind of knew about this when Musk released the Twitter files detailing all the FBI presence in the company. They even forced Twitter to hire feds. Yeah, I tell that to the normies. Tell it to these idiots. Listen to me. You are an idiot if you say, well, they're for the little people. I vote Democrat. That's the two things, like the candy that the creepy old man sells out of the van. The two pieces of candy is free shit and we're here to help the little guy. And that's it. They just put a flag. We're the good people. Free shit and here to help the little people. Oh, my God. Let's put them in control of the economy, have them take 40% of our income. It's just taxi. I don't know. They also said the other party is bad. They said they're fascist over there while they oppress our freedom of speech and take 40% of our income. Yeah, those guys are the bad guys. You're sure are right. They're not for the little people. I don't know. I rent is so high. Siege, $5. Good morning, Cappy. I made a clip from Rola's podcast where he promoted a World Without Men book, posted it on Twix. I tagged you. Okay, I'll go take a look. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alex Bogey, $5. Funny you mentioned broke down cars. My car broke down and I can tune in live because the service shop flushed my coolant but forgot to replace. And then the American people have some problems too. Forget Democrats or Republicans, but when the average American is an IQ fuckwad of 85 and doesn't put coolant back in, oh man. I don't go out there anymore, man. I'm doing all my own work. I did 3 oil changes in the cars last week or 2 weeks ago. Oh my God, what a joke. You know what? Let's go. I'm going to do some emails. We'll clear out the email list here. A little more messages. All right. Riol writes in, I knew this would be the case before it was announced. I could tell you a lot about Microsoft from my time in the industry. Let's read the tweet first. So this tweet says, whoa, H-1B visa requests. That's what Microsoft filed for software engineer roles. Yes, the same month it laid off 2,300 workers in the state, including 817 software engineers. And they had 14,181 foreign labor requests. Yes, the HB1 visa program has been abused, and I'm glad that Trump has made it costly now. Look, okay, again, for you normies out there, for the little people, all right? The Democrats have convinced you to put the globe ahead of the United States, that somehow we owe foreigners something. No. Look at everyone's reaction. Like, oh my God, you're not giving jobs to foreigners? Yeah. America should be for America. It doesn't mean we hate whatever, India, Pakistan, Poland. But maybe your country should be for your people? We don't get pissed off. Oh my God, the Indians aren't hiring Americans. Why would they? Kind of be weird. Like, well, why don't you should hire your own people and you want to help out your own? That's weird. They have taught you self-hatred so well in the schools. Oh my God, it's for Americans. We must be fascist, racist asses. No, we're just self-interested people. And yeah, corporations are not. See, now here's again where you corporations, you don't stand for our freedom of speech and fuck Americans, right? If you could save a nickel, you'll do it. I could tell you a lot about Microsoft from my time in the industry. This ties back to the original comments I made about AI and H-1B visas replacing computer science major. Microsoft has never made any money off of Xbox, and their operating system division is more of a loss leader at this point. A lot of the revenues from legacy support contracts and cloud services, but that's the case for most of the big tech firms, and growth has slowed down as the cloud market has gotten saturated. So what we should do is we should fire all the American engineers and go and try for labor savings. Their management has been a disaster for as long as I've had contracts with the company. Way overstaffed, constantly, and huge sprawling campus that saw large sections of buildings go to unused. We used to play games in empty conference rooms to take advantage of the presentation infrastructure. H-1Bs are the death knell for American tech worker if the tide isn't stemmed. And Trump just this week put a kibosh on that. Here's another one. Sorry to spam you. My dumbass forgot what I wanted to include as an attachment for context generated. All right, okay, so we can delete these two. I use podcast to clean out my email with the fan mail here. Hey, Boo Boo, this is from you long ago. I asked him why he left the Philippines. He says, burned out because of dirty ground and air. It's stinky. Lack of trash cans on the street. Dirty rivers, shit and piss, trash on the streets. Sure, in places like BGC, it's relatively clean, but that's the exception. Air, sometimes you need to take a shower after being outside for 30 minutes, even if you didn't sweat. Poverty, seeing poverty, homeless, dirt. Well, I saw the homeless, but it was nowhere near the homeless that I'm used to seeing here in the United States. Plus, they're homeless as like legit homeless. Like they got nothing and people know not to feed them. So as a percentage of the population, there's way more homeless here in the United States, though they're better fed because they're fat, lazy pieces of shit, and Karen can't stop feeding the animals. But even when I walked through that slum, I was like, okay, people are at least working, going to school and all that. Dirty paint thinner sniffing kids and teens every day. It can kind of get depressing. People begging for money basically every time you walk the street. All right, you must have been in a different part of town. Just like that kid when he walked you to your hotel, but more annoying and persistent. Good thing is that if you live in an area, they will recognize you after some time and will never give them anything. They lessen or stop it. Dumb and slow people, dumb. Imagine average normie and make them dumber. Had to pay $2.75 for booze and Coke. Gave the lady $10.75 for easy change. She looked at me not knowing what the fuck is going on. Well, that's America. She did learn after a couple of times, though. Walking slow without any awareness of surroundings. Dude, that's Walmart. She not in the United States? Walking slow without any awareness of surroundings. Everyone has time, always. That includes restaurants, store clerks, pros like air conditioning, cleaning, offices. Was extending my rent. Sure, come in at 1 p.m. Fat bitch didn't arrive till 3 p.m. Only times I didn't have to wait too long was in immigration. Sorry, ma'am, sir, that's out of stock in restaurants and stores. Example, you order groceries through an app or supermarket website just for them to call you that they don't have it. But magically, they have some other product that wasn't even listed. And obviously, in restaurants, they won't tell you right away what's not available. You will find out once you order it and the waitress disappears for 15 minutes. Shit quality products in stores. Most products you could buy is slop, just like in the USA, full of shit additives. Decent quality products come at a premium price, are slowly becoming more available. It's still a long way. Prices and availabilities of products. Prices for stuff like dairy products, sausages, hams, etc. Most normal vegetable. Stupid high, in my opinion, all imported except for meat products. The vegetables that are hard to grow locally are even more expensive. Once you find some store that has product you and you like, they'll probably not sell it anymore in 3 to 4 months. Lack of contactless card payment. Oh, I loved all the fake bros who were critiquing my failed foray into the Philippines. I'm like, buddies, if I can't pay for shit, I can't. Lack of contactless card payments depends on the store and type of terminal. Pay Maya always works, but still getting fucking annoying after 2.5 years waste of time. 7-Eleven, a couple others like it, don't even have card payments. Eating in restaurant quality food is hit or miss. Some restaurants make their own stuff. Some buy for supermarkets just make it for you. Guys on the street bothering you. Hey, friend. Hey, bro. Whatever the fuck. They don't even want anything of you. Just calling you. Irritating after a while. Other reasons be village boy in a massive metro area. Bad decision. Loud idiots without mufflers. Lack of sidewalks. Yeah, what if you went to... I agree. Everyone says you had to get out of Manila. I'm like, yeah, if my card worked. Dude, I stayed right by that airport, man. I made 3 dry runs to make sure I knew exactly where to go, when to go to get on that plane. Good luck if you try to find some mates. From what I've seen, guys tend to act quite feminine. I'm tired of seeing ugly-ass, tranny, homeless people, pets on the streets and buildings. Again, tiring. Philippines maybe even lazier than I already was. Don't know why. Living in my village was far more comfortable. None of the things would be a big problem on their own from time to time, but shit adds up. Death by a million mosquito bites. Fuck this amount. Yeah, I get it, man. I kind of had the same thing in Wyoming where, yeah, there were some great aspects of it, but again, the people are dumb. Alcoholism and fentanyl and opioid drugs, meth were rife. It's trailer trash. It's slow. No one had any motivation. And having to work at the banks I did, they were low. The bankers were low grade. The employees were low grade. Not all of them, of course. And the clients were shit. I saw nothing good or hopeful for a change. And after a while, that wears on you. And I was right there by the bighorns. It was great. You go up in there, but yet you hike long enough by yourself. You're like, God, where the fuck is everybody? Like, no, nobody. No one. Hi, Cappy. I'll keep you anonymous. Yesterday, I made the following comment on one of your videos on YouTube. My 70-year-old feminist cousin spent an hour trying to convince me and our entire family that all men are raisinists. She argued that a small percent of men actually don't raisin women because they fear getting caught, but almost all men actually do it. She claimed that at her sorority in the 1970s, every one of her 60 college girlfriends living there had been raisined. She adamantly believes this. Okay, and here she is, 70 years old, huh? What a life, right? I have my criticisms of women. I'm aware of the generally poor way they've treated men all this time. But I'm not like, rascally woman. I hate. No, I'm going hiking, man. No matter who hates me, whether it's feminists, Democrats, socialists, whatever. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to go play some video games later today. It's a beautiful day for hiking. I'm going to go hike. I'm eternally thankful I have this as a job. Or I get paid for this hobby, let's say. I enjoy working on my cars. I'm not going to be 70 and my entire life. Think about that. Like, lady, you never met one good man in your life. You never made friends with a man. Like, I have a lot of good gals in my life. My life would be a lot less without them. You know? Like, really, I get true racists. Like, what? Really? You've never had a cool black friend? You've never met a Latino that you like? I mean, yeah, Dre. Nobody likes Dre, but there's still some good black guys out there. You haven't met one cool black dude who became a friend, really? Shit. Now I think most of my best friends aren't. Well, one guy, he's like only a quarter white. The talented, my buddy, the talented Mr. Lee is 100% Vietnamese. Buddy's female, wife is Viet. I mean, yeah, I'd be down half my best friends if I was like, oh, only white people. It'd be, and it doesn't matter how they were born. They're fun, interesting people. And this gal hadn't found one guy, half the population. You didn't find one cool guy because you were in your little brain from 1970, 50 fucking years, thinking every guy is a raisinist. Oh my God. You asked me to email you a story about where she is now and how her life was, not detail, but context to know what this woman did with 70 years of hating men. Yeah, is here. This is where this is how a leftist or a pure ideologue, you can't just limit it to socialist politics, but a pure psychopathic ideologue where it's my belief and this ideology, and if you look at all the people who don't believe in my ideology, your life is tortured with hatred. Now she and her husband are retired and live near me. They have been married for 4 decades. He was a thing. She was a nonprofit worker. Surprise. They have children. She has lived a seemingly normal middle-class American life with mainstream habits of friends, etc. Boy, that's weird. Like, and it's hidden. All that hate. So she married one of the raisinists. I always thought of her and her husband as standard Democrats who despised Reagan, Bush, Romney, or whoever the Republican of the day was, but they didn't seem out of mainstream Democrat beliefs. Her parents were the same way. I've known her and my family the entire life since we were kids. She has had a normal life. My guess is that her stupid belief that all men are raisinists is what happens when a Betty Freeman, Bella Abzug, who's that? Gloria Steinem, feminist, goes through her entire life never having anyone push back or disagree with her. Yeah, maybe. That might be it. Never being told no, you're going to be a miserable, spoiled child. Her husband is a nice guy, but passive, and he probably agrees with most of her BS. Maybe not all the men are raisinist part, but he sat there and listened to her argue for an hour. Your thesis is all men are raisinists. I mean, that's just an hour. That's like a minute conversation. And when someone says that, you're like, really? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Like, oh. And then you realize you're talking to a psychopath, or at least someone you're not going to like, oh, yeah, I guess they are. And then you life kick the shit out of them for having such a stupid and not based in reality view of life. Oh, I ended up losing my temper and yelling at her, and he didn't defend her. He didn't disagree with her either. Remember, leftists live in an echo chamber. We have to seek out like-minded people. Leftists don't, and mainstream media never challenges their belief. By the way, I didn't ask her if her son was a raisinist or her husband, but she was implying that. That's a miserable existence. Miserable. I don't know if I keep doing it. Good afternoon, Aaron. I wanted to give you a field report in response to your video. Will the millennials admit they were wrong? My coworker had to take a day off to help his brother after he got in an accident. He is in his mid-20s guy who is a mechanic and does some welding on the side while he focuses his efforts on a piece of property where they do a thing. Small operation, but they employ people to run this operation. Anyway, back to the accident. Daddy's little princess in a decked out brand new SUV with a mounted push bar blew through a stop sign and T-boned the driver's side while he was in the intersection. Speed limit was 35. She was doing 54. She had her license for less than a year. The cops revoked it on the spot. Good. The co-worker and his brother were visited by Daddy and Daddy's lawyer, who asked them to accept the $25,000 payout to forgo. So, nothing's too good for Daddy's little princess. Let me tell all you motherfucking piece of shit fathers out there that just because that's your blood, you let them get away with fucking murder. You raise American fathers, listen to me, you raise fucking shit daughters. You don't raise good son either, but your daughters are fucking trash. You raise shit fucking children. I had to date them. Spoiled little brats, single one of them. Every single one of them. Well, obviously not, because I did stick with a couple of them. But yeah, generally, just children. You didn't raise anything. You let them be children. Her brother decided to take the offer just to make it go away, and so that he wouldn't have to deal with getting his own lawyer. Fuck. Daddy was mid-40s. No, the millennials, by and large, won't admit they're wrong. They will just belly up to pay the bill like good little automatons because nothing's too good for daddy little princes. Whether that means destructive and useless children, spouses, or the randos in the greater American community. If I had a child and they one, I would never buy them a brand new vehicle, but they T-bone someone, you are so on your fucking own. I'd even think, you did what? Get the fuck out of the house. You will make that man whole by your labor. And if you file it, you are not allowed back here until you make that man. And then I go visit the guy like, you whole yet? You okay? What happened? She didn't pay you? Okay, cool. No, I just need to know. They were unfortunately raised at the idea that if you spray enough money on a problem, it resolves itself, even if the bill technically isn't their responsibility. It was a good video, Aaron. Take care. Rob, our Oklahoma agent in the field. Thank you, Rob. I'll delete that. Stuart Clark. Whoa. I'm going to read this one later. Oh. I can't. It is that one. That one's okay. Good afternoon, Aaron. Want to give an update on my job search. If you recall, I had some concerns about being in the automotive industry. Let's call it. Oh, wait. Was this a request? Oh, yeah. Okay. Shit. Now I gave that away. And trying to shift to a different industry. The strategy to shift to the different industry didn't really pan out, at least for now. It was the usual HR nonsense and corporate snakiness, and I couldn't get an interview for the life of me, much less get an offer. Then again, the job market as a whole is suffering, and many people are in worse positions than me, so I don't want to complain. The good news is I was able to leverage my network and got a new role. It's effectively double my previous salary. Awesome. That's good to hear. And I am very satisfied and grateful for it. It's still in the automotive industry, but if things shift more towards a different type of car vehicle design, then I might stay in this role and grow my skill set and network further. Above all other things, I wanted to write this email to say thank you for your advice. In response to my email's request, I want to show my appreciation to you. Sincerely, Anonymous. P.S. I did complete Fire Emblem 3 Houses. It was a very fun game, and I'm glad I bought it. I'd give it a try. I'd give it my seal of approval, too. Yeah, it was a good game. Really good game. I liked it much. Okay. Hat writes in. I'm a fucking employee at Walgreens. Fucking talk to me first. Your video is 50-50. You need help, call me here. Or email me at Hat. Here are some fast facts. Drug discount cards sell you information to marketers. Walgreens is in the process of being bought out. They do run skeleton crews. So it was funny. I went to Walgreens to get my prescription. And there was a line, and we get to the line, and there were two ladies at the checkout. An older man is talking to the lady. I'm here talking to the other lady. I'm waiting on my thing for the girl to get it. And he asked, like, so, because this Walgreens, like, they shut down for 2 hours during lunch, and then they shut it down permanently. You had drive-through. So he's like asking, are you guys going to get staffed or what's going on? And she's like, oh yeah, there's been some issues and da 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 da. And I looked up, I say, yeah, and they just got bought out by private equity. And one of the girls behind it, good, God bless you, sweetheart. Your team private equity, like, well, yeah, but they're making improvements. I'm like, no, I didn't say this. I just looked at the guy. I'm like, they're getting bought out by private equity. He's like, oh, but they're training people. I'm like, no, sweetheart, she was this nice little 20-something girl with 3 whole brain cells. Say company thing and toe the company line. Like, oh, innocent child. They do run skeleton crews. Walgreens is overpriced on front counter items and prescription drugs. For you, Cappy, you can get drugs in Mexico or Canada. And you could buy a whole year's worth if you pay out of pocket cash. But that also depends on the state law and the class of medication. I'm in Arizona. Wish you the best of luck. And fuck you too, double fingers. Thank you, Hat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Hat. This is from Rob. Rob writes. This article might be a good source for you to further illustrate shitification, but here we have Microsoft using Chinese engineers to babysit sensitive Pentagon data. What could go wrong? Right? You just can't. You fucking assholes just can't hire Americans. You just can't train. You're spoiled as suburbanite princesses from Edina. You just don't want to do any work whatsoever. You just want to move money from here to there. And oh, look. At one time, America Corporation worked on industriousness, innovation, and working smarter and harder to meet your quarterly sales figures. Now it's just cut costs, bro. Cut costs, bro. So you hired Chinese engineers. Look, if you're not going to employ your fellow countrymen, there ain't going to be a country. And you will not, and then you're going to have to go overseas. If for any other reason, what happened to you all, and look, let me point something out to all you corporations right now. What is going to happen to you has already happened to all the Silicon Valley companies. The environment, the physical environment, like San Francisco, the Bay Area itself, will decay to the point you can't be there anymore. But that'll happen to the whole country, and then you're going to have to move overseas. And I don't know, Dubai, maybe? Maybe you might find Singapore, maybe? I don't know where you're going to go. Or maybe what's so wrong about paying people a living wage? What's so wrong about hiring Americans? You know, I would, now I get to the point where I got a mandate, you got to hire Americans. I like what Trump's doing. Okay, you want to hire foreigners? Well, we're going to make it real expensive for you to hire foreigners. Oh my God, you're going to hire Americans. So Microsoft puts national security at risk to make a few cents extra share in profit. And also Microsoft charges top dollar for the government community cloud in GCC higher environments. Pentagon warns Microsoft company's use of China-based engineers was a breach of trust. The Defense Department is opening an investigation to determine if the tech giant's use of overseas engineers to maintain sensitive U.S. government computer systems compromised national security. This is August 29th. This is 2 weeks ago. What do you mean to see? What do you mean you need to launch an investigation? No, it's a foreign nation. China, it's a foreign nation. You're hiring engineers? China, with its reputation of economic espionage? Yes, it's a security risk. Fuck. Thank God you spent all your time educating young American people to be a bunch of self-loathing, anti-American, woe is me, mentally ill, ADHD, autism, socialist, woke, gender-confused psychopaths. I mean, I don't know, if you did reading, writing, arithmetic, you might have a skill base. Imagine if we raised the kids like we did in the 50s and the 60s. Maybe you'd have some engineers. Maybe you'd have a talented pool. No, you raised me. I'm offended. Look at where all of that participation trophies went. Look at that. The Pentagon issued a letter of concern to Microsoft documenting a breach of trust over the company's use of China-based engineers to maintain sensitive government computer. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much it, isn't it? It's pretty much the thing. This is from Reen. Hey, Cappy, went to church today. It was packed. Also saw Raymond went to church for the first time in 15 years. Just a few personal anecdotes I'd like to catalog here. Best, Reen. Oh, thanks, Reen. I'm surprised the assassination of Charlie Kirk led so many people to introspection and to go to church. I'm like, wow, that's what it took, huh? It took a trans model to get fat, dopey white guys to realize Bud Light hates you. It took this guy to get, now you're going to church? I mean, maybe that's what it is. Oh. I think I got it. I'll be an original. I think I got it. I think they found out their original religion failed, and now they're just looking for anything else. I think that's what it is. From Dave, fuck Capital One. By the way, never get a Capital One card. Certainly not the business. Hey, so saw your video on Capital One today. I just wanted to send you a nice little comment about how terrible they are. We all know that the job market sucks right now. I interviewed with Capital One earlier in the year and applied for a remote position. Software engineering. During the first interview, they told me it was a hybrid, and by hybrid, I mean they expect me to badge into their office 3 times a week minimum, preferably more. The job posting was a straight up lie, and the recruiter didn't know how to handle it when I called it out. That's every job. That's every corporation. But yeah, surprise, Capital One lies. You could use your business card. You could use your business card for gas and other. No, I can't. I cannot use my business card for 75% of the transactions I try to use it for. Yeah, and the recruiter didn't know how to handle it when I called it out. You know what? It's kind of like dating. Like, don't waste your time going to physically meet them. You can have a Skype. Like, nah, let's talk over the phone. And record it. Okay, it says hybrid. How many days in? How many days out? Okay. So you'd like me to commute? Okay. Are these the detail? Are these the does the job exist? Okay, so it's not like a ghost job or anything. There's actually a position open. And then when you go into the physical interview and they change it on you, like, well, we need you here 4 days a week. No, I have it recorded right here. It's 2 days a week. However much you hate Capital One, it isn't enough. No request, just dropping a fun little FYM. By fun, I mean not actually fun. Yeah, don't, more corporations, you want to continue acting like irresponsible citizens. You are part of this culture. You are part of this country. You want to continue acting like bad neighbors and acting in bad faith. That's fine. I think people should start suing them for fraud. I think they should. And here's a from Swaloo. Swaloo's doing better. I followed up with him. Where'd it go? Where'd it go, Swaloo? Hey, asshole. So I know that you have been creating videos pushing Linux, so I wrote some information that can help people switch easier. Linux was created in 1991 by a Finnish college student by the name of Linus Torvalds. Created the kernel, blah, blah, blah. Learn what a GPU is and learn the difference between a GPU, an iGPU, and eGPU. Learn what GPU you are using. We have 3 GPUs companies in the world, NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD. You should know which one of these you're using if you plan to switch to Linux. Also, I don't even think that's necessary. Oh, gosh, this is a longer one. Good Lord. Okay, that's going to be its own request. That's a long one. All right, there is the fan mail for the past 3 months. Let's go back to the rest of the super chats here. Got that. Boo-boo. 10 Polish zlotys. Streaming rubble when? Hate YouTube censor chat and supers. Yeah, I mean, there's always more I can do. You need to draw the line where, like, I've done enough, and now I'm going to have fun. Like I've said before, I'm in the last third of my life. My last third of life will not be like the first 2/3 of my life. I will have fun. My priority, and I've got everything stabilized. I got enough of a significant FU fund saved up that I don't need more money. And if YouTube were to cancel me, I will cross that bridge when I get there. I will go to Rumble then. In the meantime, just for example, switching to Linux because Windows forced it on me, that took time. That was all in all about a 6-hour process. Getting, my thumb drive made. Where'd it go? Right here. Putting this together, installing it on the computers, testing it, downloading all the new software I need. That took 6 hours of my time. That's a full day off in most people's world. And I don't need nor want more money right now. I don't want the added work of you could get this platform, you get this username and password. You're right, and people aren't wrong. Like Rolo is a perfect example of a guy who does he goes the extra mile. He is a more professional individual than me. That's why he's more successful than me. But I remember one time old man Rolo was kind enough to give me, or maybe I was giving him a ride. Hey, one of us was driving the other from the airport. And he's like, "What are you doing today?" And I point to the mountains over on the west side. So I'm going to go hiking over there. He's like, "Oh, I wish I could go." It's like, yeah, man, you can. You just can't fly out to Burbank and be doing all these shows. You can do it, but you're going to have to give up something. And good old man Rolo, this is why I kind of go to him a little bit. I like to poke fun at him because old man Rolo loves fishing. He loves I think it's fly fishing on the rivers. Well, I'm in Montana half the time. This is why I always take a picture of the streams. If I'm in Montana or South Dakota, I say all fish marked safe from Rolo. I've got a picture. The water is so clear and perfect. The fish looked like it was floating above the ground. It was this Montana. No, yes, a Montana lake, Sawtooth Lake outside Dillon, Montana. Have them look it up. Dude, and it looked like this fish was floating. I got a picture of it and circled it. I said, this fish in particular, marked safe from Rolo Tomasi. And all he said was, fuck you. And there's opportunity cost. Right now, Rolo obviously has done the cost-benefit analysis. It is in his best interest to continue doing the show, but he has to give up the fishing. I choose more leisure over more labor. I choose the hiking. So I'm not critiquing the man, but that's why I'm not doing Rumble. I have a Rumble channel, and I could have. There was one time I tried to do the simulcast where you broadcast to all the platforms, but Rumble requires you to have a key code every time you stream. I'm like, I appreciate what you're doing. I don't have the time. I do not want to have turd flinging monkeys environment where you got to run 5 different processes and get them all. No. I have other things I'll do before I do that. I'll go become an ICE agent. I'll go become a cop. I'll go do my handyman, fix it. I'll do anything before I become some kind of IT person to set. It's like, guys, make it work. Make it like Linux. Make it work. And even Linux took a while. Plains Warrior 556. Giovanni Galati, an Italian leftist, initiated the rise of fascism circa 1920. Thank you. Look, the isms is just a smokescreen for Democrats to get away with their shit. Leftist versus rightist in the functional manner, the leftists want more of your money. They want more of your time. They want to enslave you a higher percent than the Republicans or the right does. The right wants to leave you the fuck alone. That's it. There it is. And if you look at all your fascists, go look at the tax rate. Go read my article, Why the Nazis Were Indeed Socialists. They were. Look at their policies. They wanted free shit for everyone. I don't know why the fascists and the communists fought each other in World War II. You're the same fucking people. Dems will hide this information from history. After a while, people aren't going to care what Italian revolutionary set up the fascist system back in 1912. They're just going to look at the Democrats being despicable people on the internet and say, wow, you want to kill people. You want to bring foreigners into our country and we can't find jobs. Even the young people are starting to wake up. Alex Bogey, $2. Price of freedom of speech, 8-minute BitChute ads. I have BitChute too. I do. Mark Magana, $5. Yesterday at Panda Express saw a lazy 20-something begging for money. 5 years in Ohio, seen that maybe 3 times. In New Mexico, California, Wisconsin, red versus blue state. Oh yeah. It there are panhandlers here in Rapid City, but nowhere near as much as in the Twin Cities. And there's been less. A lot of the Indians coming from the reservation because they were kicked off. He's committed too many crimes. So you'll see that, But there used to be a fair amount of not Native Americans, but they kind of went away. I don't know if it's seasonal or what, but I don't know if they're coming out of Seattle. They look like they come out of Seattle. They're pasty. They got stupid haircuts. They always got a dog in tow. I haven't seen a lot of that. I don't know if they cracked down or something happened. That was a year or two ago. Hey, Tom, what's up, man? $10. How you doing? Just says hi for $10. There he is. Rao, $5. Keep up the good fight. Sorry I haven't been around. Too much hiking. But dude, that's life. That's good for you. I hope you carry me with you when you go on your hiking and your biking. That's go live life. Enjoy life. We should all be hiking and biking. I'd like to say fucking, but there's a group of people that aren't too willing on that end of the, like, how do you not like sex? I mean, really, come on. What's wrong? Really, come on. What? It's like not like a chocolate ice cream. What is the problem? What's the hang up? Sorry I asked. I know the question is going to be, fuck. All right, there you guys go. Questions, answers Asshole Consulting. Link below. I've linked to all my stuff, the Amazon affiliate link, my books, my courses. Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice is open for enrollment for the last day here. If you want to get your financial shit together. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.